Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This chapter, we're going to aim to combine various mathematical problem solving techniques such as writing equations using ratio and using logical reasoning to solve dynamic speed problem besides the use of conventional formula mentioned below. So this one we have learned before. Remember, Zoe and Amelia? Okay, so we have learned speed, distance, and time, correct? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. In order to equip students with skills to solve problems of their natural, it is noteworthy. I don't want to read this one. Zoe and Amelia, did you have a chance to copy the three things? Yeah, I want you to do that. I think Amelia has already do the screenshot, but I want you to copy it on your notebook.
Okay, I'll write down.
Mm-hmm. When you finish copying, let me know, okay?
I'm finished.
Okay. Zoe, let me know.
I'm done.
Okay, good. So let's move forward, okay? So the first question usually very easy. Let me just 我今天会比较慢，因为我的手受伤了。Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. It took 65 seconds for a train to pass a bridge that is 1,200 meters long. Okay, so the train itself has a length, and the bridge itself has a length of 1,200. And let me explain the question here, Zoe and Amelia, okay? 65 seconds for the train to pass. So what does the pass mean? When we pass something, that means you thoroughly go through that one. Okay? So Zoe, as a person, you can be considered as a spot, right? So you pass this bridge, which is 1,200 meters. That means you walked 1,200 meters, correct? But Amelia, as a train, this is definitely not the same answer. Because the train itself is having a length. Train's not like Amelia or like Zoe. Okay, so assume the train is 100 meters. I'm just assuming. For the train to pass the bridge, which is 1,200 meters, that means when the head of the train touched the bridge, the clock starting to time it. And when the end of the train pass, the last part of the bridge, we claim that the train is past the bridge. Understand? So let me ask you, Amelia and Zoe, when the train when Zoe is passing this 1,200 meters bridge, Zoe has walked 1,200 meters. But for that train, how long did this train finished when this train passed the bridge? Is it still 1,200? Or 1,200 plus the train itself? Think about it, okay? So it is 1,000 or 1,000 plus the train itself, okay? So it took the same train traveling at the same speed, 85 seconds to pass the tunnel that is 1,600 meters long. So I want you to tell me how long is the train and what is the speed of the train traveling. And we have know that if you know the speed, if you want to know the speed, you have to know what? You have to know the time and the distance, because the distance divide the time equals speed, correct? Do we know the distance? Do we know the time? Okay, so now, two of you, I want you to have like 1 or 2 minutes, think about it, and I'll help you, okay?
Oh.
Okay. Do you want me to help you a little bit? So let's just do a little bit, okay? Think about it, the distance. So let's take a look at the first sentence. It took 65 seconds. The 65 seconds is what? It's time, right? So I can just put 65 here, correct? Because it's time. And to pass the bridge, that is 1,200 meter long. So my question is, it took the train 65 seconds, which is the time to go through. What is the distance? So the distance is 1,200, all the 1,200 plus the train. Amelia and Zoe? Okay, good. Zoe, you pick this one, okay? So do we know the length of the train yet? No. So we just to keep this one on no. Okay, so Amelia, I want to ask you, 1,200 plus train divided by 5 equals what?
It equals the speed.
Yeah, speed of what?
Speed of how
Speed of the train, right?
train.
Very good. Okay, good. So just like that. Okay, so now let's read the second sentence again, Zoe. It took the same train traveling at the same speed, 85 seconds to pass the tunnel that is 1,600 long. So now let's do it again. So for the number 2 sentence, Amelia, can you tell me what is the time?
The time is 85 seconds.
Very good, 85 seconds. So what is the distance?
The distance is 1,600 meters.
The tunnel is the same thing. Let me draw the thing, okay? So the tunnel is 1,000.
Plus the train.
Very good, plus the train, okay? So when we have 1,600 plus the train divided by 85, what we get?
The speed.
Speed of the train again. Okay, so that means This equation and this equation, are they equals to each other or no?
Yes.
Yes, they're equals to each other, right, Amelia? Okay, so if they're equals to each other, so I just make it white and I change to another color. Can I have an equation is 1600 plus train, we just say t divided by 85 equals 1200 plus t divided by 65. Can I do that? Are they equals to each other? Okay, so remember we have what? 叉叉大法, do you remember? So we can time these ones. So we have 65 times 1600 plus t equals 85 times 1000 plus t. And then we can time them out, and calculate t equals what. Okay, so I have helped you a lot. So two of you try to find out what is t. Thank you. Finish, let me know. 做好了吗？这个要做那么长时间，为什么？I don't get it.
I think I got it.
Okay, 65 times 16 equals what, Amelia?
Pardon, my house is super loud.
Okay. 骂你妈妈，让我去骂他。 Okay, so 85 times 1200 plus 85t. Okay, Amelia, I have a highly doubt it. Like every time we do the calculation practice and for the 5 minutes, you do it super quick, right? But this is the same thing, correct? So you move it this one here, so it's 2000 equals 20t, so t equals 100. Wow! I just make a guess, Zoe. I said, let's suppose. Did you get the same thing? Oh, this is the speed, right? So speed is 100 meters per second. Did you get the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we get the speed, it is very easy to find the thing. So 16. Oh, so no. This is the length of the train. So when we have the speed is 1600 plus 100 and divided by 85, right? So it's
Yes, it correct.
1700除以85. So 20 meters per second. Get it? Okay, so that's a way. So there's another way of doing that. Do you understand, Amelia? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So let's compare situation 1 and situation 2, Zoe and Amelia. I want you to do the comparison, okay? So the situation 1, we have time 65 seconds, correct? And the bridge is 1,200 meters, correct? And situation 2, the time is what? 85 seconds. And the tunnel's length is 1,600 meters, correct? So let me ask you, why the time has been increased? Because it's the same train, same speed. The time has been increased because the distance has increased from 1,200 to 1,600, correct? So this increased 400 meters is the creation of this 20 seconds time increased. So the speed increased, divide the time increased equals the still distance divided by time equals what? Speed. So the speed of the train is 20 meters per second. Now we go back to find out what is the length of the train is 1,600, sorry, 1,200 plus the train divided by 65 should equals to 20. So we get the train equals 100. And if you want to check your answers right or not, you can just put 1,600 plus the train and divided by 85 equals 20 or not. Get it? Okay, I give you some time to rethink about it. If there's anything you don't understand, you can still ask me. Okay, Amelia?会了吗? Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, okay? Okay, so Amelia, do you mind to read the question for me?
Mr. Brown drove at the speed of 96 kilometers per hour to his office every morning. He returned home from work at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour. What was his average speed for the round trip?
Okay, so now your turn. 我们以前学过这种类型的题目。小朋友，有人打我。Okay, when you finished? Okay, I have seen Zoe send it to me and Amelia send it to me. Amelia，你要去上厕所，就要去上课之前上，现在不能上啊。每次都是一上课上厕所，不行。Okay, so let me ask you, how did you get the answer? 96 plus 72 divided by 2. How many times I have been telling you, how do we calculate the average speed? Okay, please write it down, okay? Total distance divided by total time. So now please, this is very, very, very important. Write it down. So your method is wrong. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So, Amelia and Zoe, I want to ask you, what is the total distance? Mr. Braun drove a speed at 96 kilometers to his office every morning, 对不对？先从家到 office, correct? Okay, so an afternoon going back. Okay, what is the total distance? I want you to think about it. What is the total distance?
Going there and going back?
Yeah, so what is this? So if the distance is one of them and back, it should be what? 2. If I said home to office is X, then back home still X, right? So it should be 2X, correct? Right? When you're going to somewhere and going back from somewhere to home, the distance should be the same or not the same?
Same.
Same, correct? So it should be 2X. Okay, so now my question is, what is the time? Do I know the time? Okay, so how do we get the time? Amelia.
The time is distance divided by speed.
Thank you. Distance divided by speed. Okay, do we know the distance, Zoe?
Kind, not really.
X, correct?
Yeah.
Is it X? Okay, what is the speed when we're going from home to office?
94 kilometer per hour.
Very good. Okay, so that's the time 1. So can you tell me the time 2?
X divided by 72.
Thank you. Correct? Okay, so the total time, is it X divided by 96 plus X divided by 72?
Yeah.
OK OK 好，那这个是不是 denominator、numerator and denominator，对不对？我可不可以上面和下面同时除以 x？It's not going to change the answer, correct? So is it equals to 2 over 1 over 96 plus 1 over 72? Correct, Zoe? Is the same?
I think it is.
Okay, so now please calculate. 做好了吗？哎，所以到哪儿去了
No idea. I was working this out.
？OK。所以你刚刚去哪儿了？
掉线了。
哦，做好了吗？这个应该很快呀。通分会吧？So you just so find the lowest common multiple for 96 and 72, right? So 96 and 72, so 2, 48, 36, 2, 24, 18, 2, 12, and 9, 3, 4, and 3. You time them all together. 24 times 12 equals 288. So it's 288, 3 plus 4, 2 over. So 2 times 7 over 288. So the answer is 576 over 7. So that is the distance. I know Amelia and Zoe probably starting to wondering, it's not a whole number. Yes, it's not a whole number.
I did it backwards.
Okay.
I put it as chi over 576.
It's a distance. Cannot be like that, right? So then what? Then you need to use 576 over 7 divided by 96 and plus 576 over 7 divided by 72. You find the whole number and using 576 times 2 and divided by that thing. Get it? Yeah, it's a lot of calculation. I get it. But it is like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so who's going to read the question for me? Zoe, how about you?
Professor Greenberg traveled by a scooter from his house to a town that was some distance away. If he traveled at a constant speed of 50 kilometers per hour, he would have arrived at 11 a.m. And if he traveled at 75 km per hour, he would have arrived at 10 a.m. What speed should he be riding if he wanted to arrive at 11:30 a.m.?
Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Let's have a clue, okay? So everything's like logic. Okay, so Zoe and Amelia, I want you to have this one like time equals distance divided by speed, right? And distance equals time times speed, and the speed equals distance divided by time. So the threes in your head, like printed there, okay? So let's take a look at this one. So Professor Greenberg traveling, if he travels constant speed, he'll arrive at 11 a.m. So do we know? This one sounds like a time, but do we know when he start? So it's a not very clear time. Don't you agree with me? Right? If he started at 9 a.m., that means the total travel time is 2 hours. So the distance between his house to the town gonna be 100 kilometers, correct? But do we know that? We don't know that. So, but the thing is, we know the speed is 50 kilometers per hour, correct? We know the time will be 11 minus start time, correct? If it started at 9, that would be 2 hours. If it started at 10, it would be 1 hour. So the distance will be 50 times 11 minus start time, correct? Okay, so let's take a look at the second one. If we travel at 75 kilometers, so the speed now is 75 kilometers per hour. If you would arrive at 10 a.m., so the time will be 10 minus start time, correct? The distance will be 75 times 10 minus start time, correct? Okay, so now let me ask you, for these three, the two sets of the data, which one stay the same?
The distance?
Very good. Very good. Okay, so can we have an equal sign? This one equals this one, correct? Zoe and Amelia? Okay, so for this equation, how many variables we have? Only one. What is that?
Start.
Start time. Can you solve the equation for me? Yes, you do. Okay, so now when you find out the started time, then you will find out at what speed should he arriving if he want to arrive at 10:30. So how do we do it? This time speed is a mystery thing, right? So it's going to be, we know the distance, right? Equals what? Equals the speed times 10 minus the start time, right? Because if you calculate the start time is what, it's going to be very easy for you to find out the distance, correct? Then you're going to find out the speed. Clear, Amelia? I'm not going to tell you exactly how to calculate it, okay? Because I already tell you the method of doing that. So we're not going to do that, but you're going to find out yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at this one, this question. Amelia and Zoe, don't you agree with me? Every time when we have the speed and time question, you always feel like it's very hard, right? Yeah, but like I said, always have these three equations in your head and try to list what is missing, what is not missing. Okay, so now Amelia, can you read the question for me?
Frank and Ronnie embarked on the moving escalator to the second floor of a shopping mall. Frank walked up the escalator at the speed of 2 steps every second. At the same time, Ronnie walked the same escalator at the speed of 3 steps every 2 seconds. Frank arrived at the second floor in 25 seconds. It took Ronnie 30 seconds to reach the same floor. How many steps had the escalator when it was stationary?
Okay. So this time is escalator. Okay. So moving the escalator to the second floor, and it's what? It's like the same thing, right? So Frank walked up the escalator at a speed of 2 steps every second. So I want you to do speed of Frank equals what? 2 over second, correct? At the same time, Ronnie walked up the escalator. So speed of Ronnie is 3 steps every 2 seconds. So can we write it something like that? Or you rather have 1.5 steps per second? Which one you like better? This one, right? Because they are having the same standards of the thing. So Frank arrived the second floor in 25 seconds. It took Ronnie 30 seconds to reach the same floor. How many steps had this escalator when it was stationary? Okay, do you want to try yourself?
What does it mean by steps had the escalator?
That means they want to know how like it's the distance of the escalator.
Oh.
Because escalator has a speed of going up and going down.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay, so I just to give you some hints because I want to, it's already 6 o'clock, so I want to give you more examples to try. So Zoe and Amelia, when we're doing this question, you need to think about it because the escalator has its own speed. Okay, so it's like we are having a boat in the river. when you go with the flow or against the flow, it is a different situation. Understand, Zoe? Yeah. So when Frank and Ronnie is walk up to the escalator itself is having a speed. So the true speed will be Frank's speed plus the escalator speed. Get it? You need to plus them together. I don't know if you understand it, because if you go to the shopping mall, you're gonna see the escalator. You are moving up without even you walk upstairs, correct? Because if you only yourself is like going upstairs, that will be the floor, not the escalator. Escalator is something like without you doing anything, you're moving up anyway. Remember, Amelia? So this is escalator. So when we're talking about the escalator speed, so you need to do what? You need to, oh, my necklace tangled. So you need to just, when we're talking about the speed for Frank, it is 2 plus the escalator's speed. And when we're talking about Ronnie's speed, it is 1.5 plus the escalator's speed. But we don't know the escalator speed, so we can say escalator travel at n steps per second. Get it? Yeah, okay. So let's move forward to the next question. Ah, 我的手. Okay, so now let's take a look at the 2 cars question. Zoe, your turn. Zoe, can you read the question?
Oh, my microphone is off. 2 cars traveling at 62 kilometers per hour and 54 kilometers per hour, respectively, left town A for town B at the same time. The faster car passed an ongoing truck 10 hours later. An hour after that, the slower car and the truck also passed each other. Find the speed of the truck.
Okay.
This is a lot.
Let's understand. Let's try to understand this question first, okay? So 2 cars traveling at 62, and obviously we can say one car is car A, one car is car B. Okay, so left town A to town B at the same time. Okay, so you can see, so they're heading right? The fast car passed it on coming truck 10 hours later. 有一个 truck 朝他们开过来，对不对？ Okay, after 10 hours. So that means the first car has already passed how many kilometers? 620 kilometers, correct? 对不对？它跟这个 car truck 碰头了，对吗？ Okay, he keep walking, and an hour later, the slower car and the truck also passed each other. 好了， I want to ask you, when car A meet the truck, where is car B? Car B should be here. Sorry. Car A meet. Let's do another one. So this is car A. So finish 620 kilometers. And this car's here and meet the truck, right? That's the point. Okay, when they're meeting each other, where's car B? Where's the slower car? Should be here, right? Is it possible you tell me what is the distance for this one? I think you should.
620 minus 540.
540 equals what? 80 kilometers. Okay. So after 1 hour, they meet each other, right? Okay. So that means for this 1 hour, the distance they finished is what? 80 kilometers, right? And what is the time, Amelia?
10 hours.
1 hour. Very good. Okay, so the speed should be 80 divided by 1 equals 80 kilometers, right? So 80 kilometer is what per hour? Because I want you to take a look at this one. For this one, if I just expand it. So for this 80 kilometers, car B is going this way. A truck is going this way. They're heading to each other. And can you tell me when they meet each other, the car B has finished what? 54 kilometers, correct? Because that's exactly 1 hour the car B can finish. So the rest of them 80 minus 54 is what? Is exactly the truck finished 26 kilometers. So 26 kilometers is how many hour? 1 hour. So the speed of truck is 26 kilometers per hour. Correct, Zoe? Okay, I give you some time. You think about it again, okay? From the very beginning, the car A and car B and how they meet each other. Get it? Okay, so Zoe understands. So it's little by little. It's like we are reading a novel. Okay, just to find out it's almost like you trying to catch a criminal, right? Somebody is doing something really bad, and you try to catch you're a detective. You're using all the clues to try to find out the people who's bad, right? Okay, Amelia, your turn.
Town A and Town B are 420 kilometers apart. A car leaves Town A for Town B, and another car leaves Town B for Town A. If Car A has a head start of 2.5 hours, the two cars will pass each other 2.5 hours after Car B starts its journey. If Car B has a head start of 2 hours, the two cars will pass each other 3 hours after Car A starts its journey. Find their respective speeds.
Okay. Do you want to try? 有没有感觉？有没有感觉？So first of all, let's draw a 哎呀，画的有点丑啊。嘿，哎，这样就不会忘了。Okay, so ton A and ton B are 420 kilometers apart, right? A car leaves ton A for ton B, and another car leaves ton B. So they're heading to each other, right? So A and B. If car A has a head start of 2.5 hours, so that means what? Somebody is cutting shortcut, right? 那我们把他先走的那段画出来嘛，这么下流，2.5 hours, correct? It's not fair. That means they're not the same time, so just using the different colors, correct? If car B had started 2 hours after, yeah. Oh, no. The two car will pass each other. Has a head start. Yeah. The two car will pass each other 2.5 hours after car B. So that means they do another 2.5 and B do a 2.5. Correct? So when they meet, A 已经走了5个小时了，B 只走了2个半小时，对不对？Okay, two car will pass each other 2.5 hours after car B starts. Oh yeah, if car B has a head start of 2 hours. Okay, 好，另外一个 situation，让 car B 先走2个小时，对不对？So this is 2 hours car B has start. 好。They will pass each other for 3 hours. Okay, so now question. For these two situations, there's a one thing stay the same. What is that?
The distance, the speed of the cars. The distance.
Very good. The distance is the same. So their speed staying the same for situation 1 and situation 2, right? Yeah. So now I want Zoe and Amelia. You make your own equation. Try. 有没有点感觉？ Because we know the 420, right? The speed is the same. So we can say 5 times speed A plus 2.5 times speed B equals 420. The next one, 3 times speed A plus 5 times speed B equals 420. We have two equations and we have two variables. Very easy to solve it. Correct? 周易说：“老师，我想睡觉。” Okay, last question, last question. 应该是 last question. 对 last question. Okay, Zoe 和 Amelia 谁来读题目？Okay, Amelia, 好，你来读吧。
A car left town A for town B. Another car left town B for town A at the same time. The ratio of their speeds was 5 to 4. The first car reduced its speed by 1 over 5, and the second car increased its speed by 20% after they had passed each other. When the first car reached its destination, the second car was still 25 kilometers away from town A. Find the distance between the two towns.
Okay, let's try to do that. OK，我来报名啦，我来帮忙啦。A car left town A to town B。先把 A、B 画好，有没有画好 ？At the same time, right? So we're gonna use another color, the ratio. So A, the ratio of the speed is 5 to 4. Let me ask you. They start at the same time, and the ratio of the speed is 5 to 4. That means car A is faster or car B is faster. Zoe?
Car A. Car A is faster.
Very good. Car A is faster. So when they meet up, the car A should, the distance of car A and car B finished should be also 5 to 4. But let me ask you, what is the time? The time for car A and car B to finish the same distance should be 4 to 5. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. The first car reduced the speed by 1 over 5. The second car increased the speed by 20%. 我们可以直接把它写成这个 first car 是50 kilometers per hour and car B is 40 kilometers per hour. Just for yourself, easier. 那 first car reduced the speed 是不是变成40 kilometer 了？ Okay, 那 second 的呢？所以不对，是40乘以什么？1.2 should be 48 kilometers. Right? The 50 is 50 times 1 minus 20%. Should be 40. But this one increases 40 times 1 plus 20%. Get it?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I helped you. So now you do it. The rest. 做好了吗？你看，我们来看看下面的题目啊。So the first question, this will be the homework, Zoe and Amelia, understand? So the homework, the first question is exactly the same as the first example question we did, right? It took train 50 seconds to pass the tunnel, which is 1,000 meters. Amelia, don't you get it? Okay, the 75 seconds to pass a bridge, that is 1,625, right? So 2 trains, which one is, and we want to know how long is the train be? That's the same as this first question, right? Past each other. Mr. Welch drive the constant speed of this one, and he drive at the constant speed of 76 kilometers and average speed. 啊，不要再把108加72除以2了哟，对不对？啊，不是这么做的。Total speed divided by the total time, right? Okay, number 4. Starting time, correct? Number 4 is the same as the starting time. Okay, number 5. Henry and Robert embarked on a moving escalator, the same as the escalator question, remember? Amelia, 你们现在又开始那个啦？
Huh?
开始洗碗了吗？
Pardon?
你们现在开始洗碗了吗？
I don't know. I'm wearing headphones. I can't hear anything from
I can hear a lot of things.
Wait, hold on. What are you doing? What? Okay, what are you doing? Okay, what? Okay, no idea. OK，我听到洗碗的声音。
你也听到了。
Yeah.
Okay, so now understand? So let's take a look at the next one. The backpacker is walking that one. So it's 2 and 0.5 and whatever.
What's a backpacker?
Backpacker is somebody is going everywhere.
Okay.
Oh. Dot, 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 dot.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. A car traveled from town A to town B at the same time start the journey. So they're heading to each other and return. Remember this question? We did it before, right? No, I don't remember. So Barton, Carl, and Dan were having a 100-meter race. And when Carl dashed across the finishing line, Barton was 10 meters away. So for those questions, don't always think about it, what is left. Think about how many meters they have finished. So when Barton finished 100-meter race, Carl actually only finished 90, and Dan only finished 85.
85.
Yeah, so this is the point you want to think about it. Okay, so let's take a look at the triangle. The beetle is climbing along the three sides of the equilateral triangle. The equilateral triangle, that means each side is the same, right? But with the different speed. So for this question, the speed is different. The time, of course, going to be different. But the only thing which stay the same will be what, Zoe?
Speed.
Very good. Distance, yeah, distance, right?
Where is the beetle?
你自己画一个不就行了嘛？
Okay.
A car left town A for town B. Another car left town B. So they have the speed of the ratio. Understand? Okay, so that's the same thing, right? So in the school, an A and B is running a 400 truck in opposite direction, and speed is 6 and 5. And how many times do they pass each other in 15 minutes? So I want to know the time is the total, the speed is the total, and you can have how many run did they have in total? Because you know, in 15 minutes, Adam will finish 6 meters per second times 15 times 60, right? And Bernard is going to finish 5 times 15 times 60. So that is the total distance, and you can divide it by 400. You know how many racks they have. Understand? So then they will know how many times they're going to pass each other. Okay, a car travels at a constant speed towards a town. If it increases the speed by 15 kilometers per hour, the time required is in ratio of 6 to 5. If it reduces the speed by 15 kilometers per hour, it needs another 105 meters. Get it? Okay, altogether there are 12 questions. Of course, it's going to be hard, but next class we're going to start explain this question first. Okay, so try your best to do it. If you cannot do it, it's not the end of the world. For the summer vacation, we have more time and to practice. And sometimes I'm thinking about even get Pain Pain to help me here.
Where's Pain Pain?
Pain Pain is upstairs. Yeah. 好吗?
Your house has 2 floors?
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
fair.
So we're back. So maybe we sometimes can host our pizza party or something like that. Do you
What's
want to do
that?
that? Are you going back to China for this summer vacation? No? How about you, Amelia? Okay, great. So
My grandparents from China came.
oh, they're coming. Oh, yeah, same as Pain's grandparents. So they're coming.
My grandparents already came.
So how about like that? So I'm going to call your parents and we just meet a time so your parents can just drop here somewhere. We can have a pizza math class, something like that. Do you like it?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's it for today's class. We're going to see each other next week. Okay, bye-bye.
老师再见。
Bye-bye.
老师再见。
Bye.